All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Beyond Boardroom Business. I'm your host, Coach Stephanie, and today we have, you might as well say, an international connection here. I have the honor and privilege to interview Mrs. Michelle Hibbert. She is just a gem full of golden nuggets, full of inspiration. She is not only a certified personal trainer, she's also a certified life coach. And she's all about transformation. As a transformational coach for women specifically, she is here to help you inspire your life to become a better person. And that's what we're all here for. That's what it's about, to be the best that you can be. As far as I'm concerned, it's all about bettering yourself. And you can't do it alone. Even the best of the best have coaches. And I've had the pleasure of being one of the speakers at her women's conference. And I'm telling you, it was so professionally done. Just, just let me get you started with meeting Mrs. Michelle Hibbert. Welcome, Michelle. How are you tonight?
I am doing well. That was a very nice introduction. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I kind of don't realize all these things that I do, but thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. I remember when we first met, you've always had a very bubbly, positive um, attitude. And, it's genuine because you can tell when someone is just putting on an act, but you show your essence through the way you just your mannerisms, the way you speak. And so I am honored and pleasantly surprised and I'm thankful for being your friend. So thank you for that, first of all.
No,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, yes. And before we get into who you actually are, because it's a lot. So people, please get your pen and notebook or your phone, because I'm telling you, she has so much to give that you definitely are going to walk away a better person. So without further ado, I just recently spoke with you, and you said you've been here in America for 18 years, coming from where?
Coming from Cambridge, England. Some people think it's from Mississippi, but no, it's England. So yeah, I've been here 18 years and it's gone so quickly. It really has.
Yes, time does fly. So, do you enjoy teaching? What got you inspired to start teaching to begin with? Let's start there.
It's going to be a pretty interesting story. So I loved PE when I grew up. Was obviously
Okay.
played on lots of teams and everything. And then it's a little bit different in the UK because we can leave school at the age of 16 and then we can kind of go and do. So we'll do our GCSEs at 16 and then we'll do A levels at the age of 16 to 18, so we can go to a different school to do that. So after I did my A levels, I think my counselor was like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. And she goes, well, you like PE? I was like, yeah. And she goes, you want to become a teacher? Okay.
Wow.
And that was kind of it. And studying everything, it was just interesting to kind of learn how to become a teacher because
Yeah.
you can mold try to mold kids' minds, help them obviously be a better person, and I didn't realize there were so many other kind of like things that they don't teach you that you kind of help the kids do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that for 18 years, and I'll say it's a thankless job. um,
Right.
but it's very enjoyable, and I tried to push it away when I kind of retired from the classroom, but it just keeps on coming back to me. It's like, it's my superpower and and I've embraced it 100% now.
Yeah, you definitely have to be special to be able to teach, especially the youth. And like you said, you're molding them. Isn't that a honor to be able to create assets to society,
Yes.
and know that you are changing lives. You are helping, because it's something that they will never forget. They'll always remember their teachers. And it's definitely a brave thing, especially nowadays, teaching in schools.
Yeah.
Wow. So let me ask you, when did you say for sure, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and there's nothing else that tops teaching?
Well, it's funny because, as I said, I tried to kind of push it away, but I'm like, no, this is my superpower. I need to use this for whatever next is in my,
Right.
path and journey of life. Maybe I had a
Right.
midlife crisis. I mean, we all have midlife crises. So it was kind of like, all right, what am I going to do? And I literally kind of had to just, play around with a few things, to kind of say, okay, I got my personal training certificate. Okay, I'm still helping people become the best version of themselves physically and sometimes mentally. And then I was like, all right, is this really my passion? And I don't think it is. And it wasn't until I had to go through a challenge myself
Okay.
before the kind of life coaching came to about. And I'm like, oh, wow, I guess this is kind of what I've been looking for, because again, I'm still educating people, still helping people, whether it's physically, mentally, socially, for their careers. And it's kind of all compassed in one. And so to me, I was just like, this fits me. This is what I need to do.
Okay.
I'm always going to help people, whether they're in middle school, high school, adults. I'm always going to help people. So,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I mean, it's rare that people really honestly want to help people, because
Mhm.
people are really just looking out for themselves. But when you are willing to, you know, teach others, man, I'm telling you, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
And you have a son, and he's had quite a few accomplishments.
Oh my
I
God.
saw it. So tell me a little bit about him.
So yeah, he just graduated from high school, so he will be off to Davidson College. He loves loves wrestling.
Oh,
Did I tell you he loves wrestling? He is like very focused. So
mm,
he's going to go to Davidson to wrestle, but be a student first. But he is, part of the National Honor Society and got all these awards with, his wrestling team, and part of the Spanish Honor Society. So, he is a great kid, great all rounder, but again, heavily into wrestling. But again, the fact that that's his passion, I can't, he is so, wanting to improve all the time, and the amount of training he puts in. So he is dedicated to the sport. And, I take my hat off, because I'm not saying I wasn't dedicated when I was younger, but he is like dedicated like 200%.
well,
But
he
again,
had you as a great coach, so that's what definitely helped
and he
inspire.
but he does, he does fun things, but he is very, gung ho about wrestling, which again, I can't fault him for that.
Well, that's good, because he definitely looks like he really enjoys himself when I saw the picture. So, yeah. So
Yeah.
now, with you being a mom and a wife, how do you do what you do and still have time for you?
Ooh, yes. I have to set myself boundaries, and I wasn't very good at it at the beginning. Hence the reason why I had to get a life coach myself, because I was just doing everything for everyone and neglecting myself. And then there was that realization, it's like, who am I? Where is the Michelle? Michelle
Yeah.
was here, and now she disappeared. So that was again an aha moment. And so I had to kind of put some boundaries into place. And I have to use the word no sometimes. And
Yes.
I also have to delegate, because my husband is one of those people who, if you could do it for him, that's great. And sometimes I'll say, no, I need you to do this. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. So yes, setting those boundaries and using the word no, but explaining why you're using the word no, and
Yeah.
scheduling my time, scheduling my time is very
Hmm.
key and
Hmm.
critical.
So how often is it, like every day you have some me time set aside, or do you save it for the weekend? How do you, what's your
Hmm.
routine?
I don't have a regular routine as such, but the things that I do have to do is I do have to work out in the morning. So that is kind of like locked in, locked
Yeah.
in 100%. I'm not a morning person, everyone. Never have been, but I do get up to work out. So that is kind of like my me time. And then sometimes at the weekends, there'll be some me time. But again, it's mornings, workouts, and then I can again, I'm not. Sometimes I like to switch it up. Sometimes I'll journal. Sometimes I'll meditate. Sometimes I'll do both. But that's all
Mm.
encompassed in my kind of like morning of what I need to do.
Okay. So how do you stay consistent with your fitness?
Um, I tell myself I have to go. I have to go to the gym, and I'm not getting any younger, so it's very important that I go to the gym. I have a Peloton right there, so I've got no excuse. So,
True.
I go to the gym twice a week. So I just focus on the strength training, and then I can do my cardio and stuff and do my meditation here and stuff like that. But I have to go, and I go to a boutique gym so that I spend a lot of money. So if I
Oh,
don't use it, then I lose it. So that's also a motivation for me to
ooh.
go.
Yes, yes,
Because if
yes.
I do a Lifetime or a LA Fitness for the $20, $30, I'm not going. I'm not going because
Yeah.
it's not that doesn't motivate me. Now I do the strength training, but I pay a lot of money because I have a trainer. So, and
Mm.
again, if I don't use it, I lose it. So no, I'm not losing it. So
Yeah.
that's my motivation to go.
Right. And then from one trainer to another, we know that working out brings out the endorphins in the brain. I mean,
Yes.
it's just a great way to take care of ourselves,
Yes.
physically, mentally. Yeah. And like myself, I do not care for it, but it's just a must have, like brushing your teeth. Like we just have to do it because we have to take care of this body that we're in order to function on this planet.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
show my appreciation by, taking care of it, the upkeep.
Yep.
It's a lot of people that take care of their vehicles better than they take care of their bodies.
And
And
you are not wrong there. You are not wrong there at all. Because I've seen it. I've seen it where people's like, oh yeah, I'll do this with my car. And I'm kind of like, but you can't schedule time to go and do half an hour or go for a walk for
right,
half an hour just to get. So yeah,
yeah,
I totally agree. But the workout actually helps me and wakes me up because again, I'm not the morning person, so it wakes me up.
right,
And yes, my endorphins kick in and then I can start my day. So it's kind of a necessity. And again, as we age
yeah,
gracefully as women, it's important obviously to increase our bone density and all those things that we have to think about because we're not getting any younger.
that's true. Now, I heard that you are called the badass Brit girl. How did that name come about?
Oh, that's so funny. Yes. So it's so funny because some of my friends keep on saying, you know what, Michelle, you're such a badass. And I was just like, what, how so? And they're like, but you don't, you're always going and striving for things and you go out and get it. And you just, again, you're just such a badass. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I think I need to use that name, a little tagline, the badass Brit girl, because I will consider myself a badass. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was mainly friends telling me, that I'm always wanting to strive to the
Yeah.
highest pinnacle, and you'll just kind of like move everything out the way just to get it. Now, obviously, I'm not breaking necks or anything. I want to just put that out there. But if I want to achieve something, I'm going to achieve it. And yeah, again, with my life coaching, we can all fail, but failure, we got to see it as a learning experience. So, but again, I'm there for it. I'm for it to kind of get to where I want to go. So yeah, that's the things that people kept on saying. You're a badass. So
I can clearly see badass brick girl on a hat, on a shirt. I mean, you should really rock it because it's just all you. I love it. I mean, I love it. It's so unique, and people won't forget it when they see it. You know what I mean? Especially since you empower women, it's all about women. And man, I'm telling you, I love it. So yeah, that definitely is been.
I know. Sometimes some people say, "Oh yeah, she's a bad," and I'm just like, just say it. Just say the word. Yeah,
just go for it. They know what's going to be said anyway. So, let's see. As far as the fitness, because that's a big part of your life. With fitness, it's 80% what you eat and 20% fitness. So, how are your eating routines and schedules like?
So I do intermittent fasting because I'm of a mature age. I won't discuss how old I am. But yeah, so I do intermittent fasting. And I would, I try and eat my vegetables. I try and eat my fruit. And, again, because you're a trainer, there are so many things out there like you shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat these fruits, you shouldn't eat these fruits because it's got sugar. And it's kind of like, it can be very overwhelming.
Yes.
So I focus on trying to eat, I try and eat organic meat. That's, again, my preference. I try and eat the dirty dozen for the organic fruits and vegetables. Again, my preference.
Okay.
I do have a sweet tooth. I'm gonna admit it, everyone. I'm so sorry. I do have a sweet tooth, but I try and limit on how much sugar intake I have. Right. And again, I'm trying to eat protein. I'm trying to eat vegetables. I may have a little bit of starch during my dinner, but again, I'm conscious about kind of the things that I eat. And if I eat too much, then I know about it because I just feel like I'm stuffed up to here. But again, proteins, vegetables, fruit, a little bit of sugar. I try and cut out as much sugar as possible, but sometimes we got to have it. And then a little bit of carbs, but that's kind of my routine. And I'm cooking daily.
Okay.
So that's that. I mean, and then when I go out, I want to treat myself. I don't drink. I used to drink, not a lot, but I've kind of cut down on my alcohol content now as I'm getting older and the perimenopause sets in and you drink alcohol and you kind of feel like, why am I so hot? Well, it's the alcohol. So.
But isn't there one drink like tequila or gin or vodka? It's one drink that doesn't have calories, or I can't remember. Do you
think so? But then I'm gonna add tonic, or I'm gonna add some Coke or Sprite. So I'm not. I mean, if I have a gin, I'm gonna have a gin and tonic with because it's very British. But I'm not a vodka person, and I don't like tequila unless it's in a margarita. And again, the margarita could be sugary, so it's kind of like the things that us women have to deal with as we get older and mature and age gracefully. I have to pick up.
That is so true. That's why we need to have the sisterhood. We need to have a place where women can just come and let their hair down and just. So, what encourages you to inspire women, empower women?
Well, I would say it was all through the life coach that I used, because I was going through a time of who was I, what was I doing, I was taking care of everyone else but not taking care of me, and she kind of really opened my eyes on how she helped me, and that just kind of like resonated with me so much. So to me, I was just like, this is something that I need to do. I need to help women realize that it's okay to get help, because again, some
Mm.
people struggle to ask for help. It's okay. I used to be that person. I would never ask people for help. And I think towards the end of my 30s or so, I was just like, no, I need the help. I need the
Yeah.
help, and I shouldn't feel afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Um, and so I just kind of want to be that help for women to get to where they want to be, because we do so much. We do so much.
Yeah.
Yes, we bear children. Yes, we look after them. And, you may stay home, and then we try and balance our career and family. And, it's a lot.
Oh, yes.
And sometimes we just need that, like, you know what? Let's put some systems in place, so you are not feeling overwhelmed. You're not suffering from this anxiety, and you don't have to feel like you're a failure if you
Mm.
don't pick up dinner tonight. Get your husband to do it, or go around your friend's house and have, get the kids around, and then you can all have pizza or something along those lines. Let's not feel guilty about some of the things we do, because the smallest things we can feel so guilty and so upset. And I'm just like, it is not worth it. It really is not worth it. It really isn't.
Real. It sure
But
isn't.
again, we have to put those boundaries in place, and we have to put those systems in place, and we also have to delegate, and we also have to say no, which it's a complete sentence. No, thank you. And some people struggle to that, and some people struggle with that.
Yeah.
That's how I
So for
can help.
those, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. And that's how I can help,
Okay.
helping those systems into place.
So those who are challenged with putting themselves on the back burner, how can they start getting themselves off of the back burner and taking care of themselves just, more intently?
Well, I think the first thing that they have to do is to figure out how much they are doing. To write a list. What are you doing in your household? Because I had to do that. I was just like, this is what I do in my household. Okay, I need to delegate some of these things.
Yes.
Because I can't do it all. I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot. And I just burnt myself out from trying to do it all. And again, make a list of all the things that you do, and then figure out, okay, I need to delegate. And I know some women, and I'll say some, not all, are control freaks and want to have control of everything.
Yeah.
But you know what? You run yourself ragged when you try and control things. And then
That's
I
true.
understand women like to have things done a certain way, because otherwise it's not proper. Again, you create a lot of anxiety from that.
That's right.
You may have to just release that control a little bit, delegate it to someone else, and just kind of be grateful that you can take that off your plate. Now, if it's not done how you want it to, it's okay, because not everyone is going to be at your standard, and that's okay. But you need to just kind of have that acceptance that someone has done it for you, and you don't have to think about it, and it's one less thing off your plate. And I know that's very hard and challenging, but the more we kind of can release, the better the anxiety, or the less anxiety we will have.
That's so true. Is that the best way to avoid burnout?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Burnout is a real thing. Stress is a real thing. And I tell you, I suffered from a stomach ulcer, so I know stress is real, and it can harm you in so many different ways.
Wow.
So you have to realize about how your body is feeling. I didn't realize that I would have this burning sensation in my esophagus, and then I'd have these headaches. I just thought, oh, I'm suffering from migraines. And then my stomach was hurting me, and I'm just like, I need to get myself checked out. And it was a stomach ulcer, just from all the acidity and the stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, I thought it was normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. No, it's not. So, you know, be conscious of what your body is telling you and don't
Yes.
ignore those signs.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
ignore them. Get it checked out because the
Yeah,
body
because
will tell you.
like you said, the body talks to you. That is so true. We can't
Yeah.
ignore it because if you
Yeah.
do, then you're just hurting yourselves, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm so glad I caught it when I did because, you know, if
Yeah.
I'd have just kept on going, I don't know
Mhm.
what would have happened.
Yeah. More pain down the road because it
Well,
just
yeah,
doesn't stop,
more pain.
you know?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm so glad you
Yep.
were able to, tap into yourself. And that's with showing self love. You listen to yourself and you take care of your body,
And I
especially as
do that.
entrepreneurs. We
Oh
have to.
gosh, yes. And I do that more than ever now. Like if I start feeling that, you know, the burning sensation in my esophagus, I know that I'm stressed and I need to do certain things to kind of relieve it. Obviously, I need to take some medicine, but I need to also do some stress relieving activities.
Okay. So did you have to change your diet? Like since you said acid, so like did you have to take tomato paste like spaghetti and things like that out of your um okay. Okay.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. Anything acidic, I had
Mhm.
to kind of cut out for a while. Um, just so I could kind of like repair the lining in my stomach. So yeah, I had to, so no tomatoes, no alcohol,
Okay. Yeah.
no citrus fruits, no oh God, there was something else.
Mm,
There was some
wow.
other things I had to cut out,
Yeah.
which
Which
was
shows
again
I was
th-
I was gonna say it
the
shows discipline, that you're able to.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to get yourself better, you have to do those things. And so now it has to be in moderation. So, you know, I'm not going to eat tomato sauce all the time. And I don't eat tomatoes anyway. They have to be, I'm very strange. They have to be cooked in order for me to eat tomatoes, but I don't eat them anyway. So, but I
Okay.
again have to be cautious about the things that I'm eating now. So I don't get that acid reflux.
And then, like you said, as we're getting older, the body changes. So we just listen to the body, and we should do fine.
Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. So again, when I was at your conference, I really appreciate the opportunity that you had given me to speak at your conference. And um, can you tell me a little bit more about what the conference was all about? And because I did my part, and I was the sole tunnel focus, I didn't really get a chance to be able to enjoy the full effect. So, can you tell us a little bit about what
Yeah.
happened and what's to come in the future?
Sure, yeah. So, and again, I want to thank you for being my motivational speaker because everything that you brought to the table was amazing. So, and again, I'm glad that you were in my life at that time. So, you know, so it's great that I had you there. So, the conference was all about kind of empowering women and just giving them kind of tools to help them with certain kind of things that are important in our life. You know, I had a financial advisor, so we're talking about, you know,
Mhm.
financial wealth because that again, that can be stressful, that can
Yes.
impact everyday living. And you know, I'm just going to say it, we like to spend more than what we earn. And there's a lot of people in debt, and so, you know, giving that advice and
Yeah.
giving, you know, certain tips and tools on how to, you know, be better with your money is was great.
Yeah.
Also, again, talking about anxiety, talking about depression, how to deal with that because it's a real thing. And obviously
Yes.
COVID was,
Yeah.
I don't like to say it, but you know, an eye opener for those kind of things
Yeah.
in our everyday living. And so I had a couple of therapists talk about, you know, anxiety and depression and perfectionism, and how, you know, perfectionism can be quite detrimental to,
Yeah.
you know, your everyday living and trying to live up to that, you know, high expectation and the anxiety that that can cause and the frustration and obviously the fear of failure and so forth. And again, how that has an effect. Um, Also, some of the women I know are caregivers and are looking, after their elderly parents. And so I had a couple of people talking about how to help their elderly parents with regards to, what Medicare will give you and what Medicare won't help you with, and so forth, and giving them kind of like advice with some equipment that they may need. And then I also had a senior care advisor kind of talking about how to release some of the overwhelm and stress with looking after, your aging parents. So she kind of gave some advice. And I'm just trying to think. And then I also had a couple of career coaches, because again, us as women, we like to kind of put ourselves down when it comes to looking for jobs and careers, and and we need to kind of build ourselves up on our resumes and when we're talking in interviews, and we should be applying for all the jobs that we want to apply for, regardless if we don't have all of the skills. We should be applying for the jobs that we have 60-70% of the skills, and feel confident about ourselves in interviews. So I had some career coaches come in and kind of talk about the words that we need to use, and kind of give women a bit of motivation with regards to that. So, and then I was there to kind of just talk about, again, it's okay to get help, and how, help where you can get to in places when we ask for help. And again, I feel that maybe this is just me being an outsider from a different country. I feel like the US doesn't like to ask for help, or people in the US don't like to ask for help. It's like, I can do it by myself, but we can't. We all need help to get to where we need to be. So just ask.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Again, we may need resources. So let's, Google's a good thing, or, ask people. People are good resources.
Yes, that is so true. And do you have another conference coming up soon?
Not yet.
Okay.
I might be doing something in the fall, but not yet. But I do have something coming up. It's not a conference, but it will be. It's going to help people. It's going to focus on entrepreneurs who have ADHD.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So that's
Okay.
coming in the pipeline. I can't give you any more information, but again, if you're a person who has ADHD and as an entrepreneur, then I'm going to be collaborating with someone doing something around
Wow.
that in the fall time. And then maybe a conference may come out towards the end of that. So yes.
I know that's going to help so many people, because wow, just the title alone, I didn't even consider entrepreneurs that could possibly have ADHD. So, but that is so true, and just imagine, the challenges that they face. So, definitely keep me posted about that, and
Okay. Yes.
social media. But I hear you have a water challenge coming up.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. And I'm about to post it on my social media. But yes, I was talking with some of my clients past couple of weeks, kind of to give you a backstory, and just checking in to see how they are, because I'm not that coach who's just like, okay, thanks, bye. No, I like to see how people are going and doing in their lives, and if they're still, using some of the techniques and strategies that I gave them. And I kind of asked them all. I was like, what's one thing that you struggle with in the summertime? And they all said, you know what? I don't drink enough water. And I was like, what? And I really had to think about it. I was just like, well, do I drink enough water in the summertime? And I realized I don't. And so yes, like I even have my water bottle on my desk. I know it's empty, but I have another water. I have water bottles everywhere. See, look. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna create a 28-day hydration challenge and give 5 easy steps on how to kind of hydrate yourself during the summer months, because it is important. We do not
Yes.
need anyone to suffer from dehydration. You know, it's hot. Well, depending on where you're listening, you know, if you're in England, it might not be hot. So, you know, I'll take that into consideration. Can't guarantee that it's going to be warm in the UK, but, you know, we need to kind of drink more because, you know, we're sweating and we need to kind of like put more water in our bodies. And so, again, going to drop that today on my social media. So, you know, if you go to my social media pages, which we may talk about in a minute, then there'll be a post and there'll be a link to the challenge, and it's free and it's a PDF and there's a little guide there, and away you go.
Okay, with that said, please tell us, what is your social media?
Yes, so if you want to find me on Facebook, it is Michelle Hibbert LLC. And then if you want to find me on Instagram, it is Michelle H. Life Coach. And then if you want to find me on LinkedIn, it is just Michelle Hibbert.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And then you all can see the website at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you write it down and check her out. She is an amazing woman. Thank you so much, Michelle. Is there anything else that you would like to add to this episode?
No, I just want to say thank you for inviting me. And again, I'm so glad that we know each other. Yes. And that we're in each other's lives, because again, we all need to stick together, as you said, the community, the women community, and we're a good community. And you know how you help business people write their books and everything, and the fact that you're putting me on your podcast, I really, really appreciate it. So no, thank you. I appreciate everything that you do and how you help everyone.
Oh wow. Oh man. I love it. So, you know, thank you. And I will like for you to come on sometime in the future to follow up, especially to announce any events that you have coming. And thank you again, Michelle. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, everyone. It was an honor to introduce you all to Mrs. Michelle Hibbert. As you all can tell, she is an amazing woman. She's so full of inspiration, and it's just her innate desire to help. And please believe she's all about that self-care and self-love, and you can see it through the episode of this interview. You can tell, and it's all about inspiring others along the way. So I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did. It's just so enjoyable what I get to interview trailblazers, people who are about their business. You know, people, there are a lot of con artists out here, but then there are some true trailblazers and some true leaders. And that's my job, to find them and to bring them here on Beyond Boardroom Business. So again, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. I'm here every week at 7 p.m. And until the next time, make sure you stay positive, stay productive, and stay prosperous. This is Coach Stephanie, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your evening. Thank you.